It's time for the Rick Smith Show. Now, here is the voice of the working class, Rick Smith.
Here today on the big program, lots to get to, lots to talk about. We had a billionaire in space. Yes, the number two guy, the second billionaire to leave our atmosphere, and the news media went all gaga. Oh boy, it was such a love fest. Oh, we love space exploration. We love rich people doing dumb things. For 10 minutes, 10 seconds, Jeff Bezos went to outer space, and Amazon workers everywhere ran to the bathroom in the hopes of getting a bathroom break before the dear leader got back. I got to tell you, it was one of the most bizarre things that I've seen. One of the biggest wastes, in my view, seeing the oldest person, the youngest person, and a billionaire and his brother going into space. For what reason? No idea, other than, hey, he can. Because we, the working class of this country, have given him the wealth and the opportunity to do whatever he wants. Congratulations. This is our day. It's not his day, it's our day. We're the ones who, well, according to him, ultimately we paid for it, right? I guess in that one moment, at least he was honest in saying that, you know, we're the ones who paid for it.
And then I want to thank every Amazon employee and every Amazon customer, because you guys paid for all of this. So seriously, for every Amazon customer out there and every Amazon employee, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
From the bottom of his heart. From the bottom of his heart. From the bottom of his heart. That, you know, again, the Grinch, three sizes too small. Because, hey, can't take a bathroom break, can't join a union, can't get a decent wage. But, hey, you paid for it, and so did we. And I'll be honest, you know, Jeff Bezos got the negative attention he deserved this week from working people because, again, he was at least honest. Hey, you guys paid for it. I just got to go. I got to get on my little phallic-looking toy and rise into the sky. I got to do it. And you, my friends, you paid for it. You're the ones who got to pay for it. Congratulations. Good on you. Good for you. How'd you pay for it? Well, we paid for it through, you know, the great crime of Amazon not collecting taxes for over a decade. We paid for it through lower wages for workers. We paid for it through setting up systems that undercut mom and pops and brick and mortars and everything else. Congratulations. We did all that, and we did it through policy. Congratulations. We did it. We put the second billionaire into space. And now, is this something we should be proud of? I don't think so, because to be honest, I don't know what it was for. Not quite sure what it was for. Look, I'm all in favor of space exploration. Kind of a big, you know, I want to see what's out there. I want exploration. I want scientists telling me what's out there. I want the inventions that come out of it. I was a big fan of NASA. I think we should be doing more of that. But having a billionaire phallic waving system, because, hey, my rocket's bigger than yours, or my rocket shoots farther than yours, or what? I'm sorry, I'm not paying for it. But ultimately, Bezos is right. We have. And again, how have we done it? Through lower wages, worse working conditions, working longer hours. That's what we've done. And this week highlighted that. Today, 12 years ago today, the minimum wage increased to $7.25 an hour and has not gone up on the federal level since. That is the longest period in the history of our country, in the history of the minimum wage, to not go up this long, 12 years. In fact, the federal minimum wage is now worth 21% less than it was the day it was passed. It's worth 34% less than it was in 1968, which was the high point of the minimum wage, is about $12 an hour. But here's the important thing, and this is the part that gets me. Because we're told that America's a meritocracy. We're a meritocracy, guys. We're doing the hard work. The more you do, the more you get paid. Had minimum wage kept up with productivity, that meritocracy idea, minimum wage would be over $24 an hour. Had it kept up pace with Wall Street bonuses and CEO pay, it'd be over $33 an hour. So when people tell me, but Rick, we can't possibly give people a wage that they can live on. You go, yeah, we can, because someone's taking all the productivity gains. Someone's pocketing all of the profits, and it's certainly not the working people. Could it be the guy who got in his little phallic symbol-looking ship and shot himself into space? Yeah, that's one of them. Understand, CEO compensation in this country from 1978 till today went up almost 1,000%. You know what the average worker got? About 10. And they're grateful to get it. And the thing that gets me is we keep pulling apart. This gulf between the haves and the have-nots keep getting further and further apart. But yet, what are we focusing on? Social issues. We care about who goes to what bathroom or who dresses one way or who sleeps with this. I don't care about any of that stuff. Because we're being robbed daily. We're being ripped off every day. And the fact of the matter is the numbers do not lie. The richest 10% of households in this country own 80% of the wealth. That's reality. The top 1% own 16% more, 16 times, not percent, 16 times that of the entire bottom half of households. 1%. And you go, but Rick, we can't afford any of those things. Yes, we can. We can redistribute wealth the way we used to. When my grandparents' generation were around. You go back into the 50s and 60s when union density was up in the 35% range and workers were demanding a share of the profits that their labor was creating. We had a more equal, more egalitarian society. We still had rich people, but we didn't have people so rich that for the heck of it, they could build themselves a $500 million boat and then shoot themselves into space. It's just crazy. And, there was just a thing came out the other day. That said that all the combined wealth of the entire country is almost $130 trillion. What everybody owns, the entire asset of the nation. And that the top 1% owns over 32% of it, almost a third. And that's up from just 1989, which was 23%. Again, the rich are getting richer, and which means, well, the working class, the working poor of this country, not so much. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Because at some point, we've got to deal with this tax problem. If you got a question, comment, 347-345-2550 is the call-in number. Because here's the thing. There was a 2018 study done by the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD countries. There are 28 of them. What they found in those countries, 10% of the households owned 52% of the wealth. 10%. While the bottom 60% owns 12%. Let's come home here to the United States. This is what makes us great, according to some. Here in the U.S., the top 10% held almost 80% of the wealth, as I said, and the bottom 60% owned 2.4% of the wealth. So ask yourself, and this goes back to what my high school government teacher asked, the question he asked. Which are you closer to, the rich or the poor? Because we were asked, how do you decide which party you're going to become? He said, generally, the Democrats are for the poor and social programs. Republicans are for the rich and deregulation and corporate programs. You have to decide which you're closer to. You're the rich or the poor. Most of us closer to being, on the poor end. And the thing for me is this is the hat trick of horrible. This is the perfect storm of terrible. A tax code that punishes workers, because through our tax code, we've created the largest billionaire class in the history of civilization. We've done that, pat ourselves on the back, and we've done that through lower wages, less health care, a retirement system that's basically gone. This is what we've done. Also, we've allowed unions to be crushed because, hey, the boss needs flexibility. Flexibility to fire you at any time and lower your wages and jack up your health care costs. And nearly unchecked power amongst the wealth class. And Amazon being, the behemoth in the room. And the thing is I know it sounds like doom and gloom, Rick. It's terrible. This is horrible. It's horrible. Doom and gloom. It's horrible. It is the hat trick of horrible. But just as we've chosen policy to put us in this situation, we can choose policy to undo this situation. Because the common denominator here is our political system. We're so mired in worrying about, again, who's going to what bathroom or sleeping with this person, that we've lost the fact that on the economic front, we're being robbed blind. That cartoon of the rich guy taking 9 of the 10 cookies and then looking to the 2 guys and going, hey, someone stole your cookie. That's very real. So we can undo this. We can have policy that will move us in that direction. We can get back to things that are going to make it easier for workers to join and form unions so that they can demand better wages, hours, and conditions, as we're seeing all across the country right now. And there's the ability to change our tax code to ensure that the extremely well-to-do, the people who can shoot themselves up into space and say, hey, thanks for paying for my trip, that they pay a fair share of taxes. We can undo that. We can put some controls back into where the rich and powerful gain their access. But it comes back to us. Now, the sad thing is look, I understand it's tough. There was just a strike that evidently just concluded yesterday. The Frito-Lay workers out in Topeka, Kansas. And a shout out to them for a fight well fought. They just evidently agreed to the tentative agreement. They're going to go back to work. But the stories that came out, working 12-hour days, 7 days a week, back every 8 hours, in extreme heat in the summertime, in extreme cold in the wintertime, without regard for their family, their health, their lives. Someone had a heart attack, move them aside, plug somebody else in there. At some point, workers are going to say enough is enough. And as I've been saying, there have been a number of strikes, and there are a number of ongoing strikes that I think are really important to be watched and followed. And our news media really hasn't done enough to really tell the story. And one of those is going on down in Alabama at this Warrior Met Coal Company that's been, I guess it's 4 months now they've been on strike, over 4 months, because they had the audacity to say, we bailed you out. We took concessions to help you out of bankruptcy under the promise that you're going to help us. And now it's, well, we'd love to, but. And good on the nearly 1,000 workers there who are saying no more. So when we come back from this break, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on down in Alabama, but also what's coming right here to New York City this coming week. Maybe an activity you can get involved in. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, Cecil Roberts, president of the United Mine Workers, is going to be here to share some thoughts on what's going on. Quick break, right back. Stick around. You're listening to The Rick Smith Show.
Nothing more American than workers standing up, and the union gives a voice to win. On The Rick Smith Show.